So let us continue with our lesson, and the next step is to create our repository. So for that, what I will do is on the top we will need a context. So I'll just get the context from here, just copy and paste it over here. And the next is we need a two variable of a local database service and a network service. So private let init var of I need a database service, and also I will need a private let init var which is of a network service. So we have a two member variable over here, and we will need a function. So I think we will create a function over here, or we can make use of a init block. In the init block we can just create a database service is equals to our database service, and then we can provide the context, right? So we have to provide a context over here, and also for the I need a network service. So network service which is of equals to our network service, and we need to pass the context over here. And so when the init block is called, it will create a database service and a network service for us, and then we can have a function over here to get what we have, the function name, get the database. Just copy this function, and we have this function, and also we need another function which is of, let me go over here and get that name, network service. So we have a two function, and that it should get the network service dot I can get the database from here, that is that function. If you go over here, it will return the database name and the version. That's a simple function, and this should also return the network service dot we have a get network service, and that is returning the URL and the API key. Okay, so we have this function which is of get database and the network service. So I think we can remove the let init var from here. Now let us go to we need to go to the view model. So we haven't created a view model. So inside here I will create a new class that should be of a, let's say, a main view model. So let's say we have a main view model over here. Okay, so we have a main view model class, and this main view model requires a repository. So let me go over here, and we need a repository. So for that we also need a context, because we have to pass a context to this particular repository class. So I will say over here, I will say a private val of the context. So we need the context from here, and whenever there is a class is created, we need an init block. So init block, and we have a, let's say, a private val of our repository. So repo repository, and this repository which is of a repository, sorry, rep repository, and what we will do over here is a repository which is of equals to repository, and here we need to pass the context. So we will pass the context, and let's have a two function over here. Function get the what we have over here. We'll use the same function name, get the database, right? And we also have another function over here which is to get the network service. So let's get a function over here and get a network service, and that should return the repository dot we have a get network service, and here we have the repository dot we'll get the database. And now we have to make use of this main view model in our activity. So let's go to the activity, and on activity create, what we will do is we will make use of the main view model. So let me have a let init var of a main view model, and I will say that the main view model is of equals to MAI and main view model, and here we have to pass the context, and I'll just keep the context as this. Since we have a main view model, now what we will do is we will go to the UI section, and in the over here let me add a button. So let us add a button and a text, and for that let me just constrain this one, and let us create a two button over here, and that should be somewhere at, let us constrain it to the, let me constrain it properly first, horizontally, and let me say give as a 32, and let me add, okay, let's give the ID first. So I will just say btn get the, first we'll say get the database service, and let's have the another button, and we will constrain it bottom, and let's constrain it horizontally, and let me give as a 16, and let me have a btn of the get network service, and let's just give a text over here. We will say network service, and this one should be of the database service. So whenever we click on this one, we should get that particular value from here, so database and the network. So when we get that one, we want to populate it in our text view. So that's a simple way. So we will just add another text view over here, constrain it bottom over here, and let's say up to 8, and horizontally let us constrain it, and let us give the ID. So let's have an ID. So this one is let's say LV level of, we need a database service, yes, and this one is of the level LB of the network service. Okay, so we have a two text view, and let me remove the hello world from here, and also remove this one. Now when we click on this button, we should get that particular one. So first of all, let's make use of the btn. So let me go to the main activity over here, and on, sorry, let me import that one, and dot set on click listener. So whenever we click, then I will go to the main view, sorry, it should be, we should go to the main view model dot, we have a get database service, and this should return a text. So I will have to get a val, I will just say as the, we need a, we need a data, and since we have a data, then we can just set it to this particular text view, so LV database service, right? So just copy the ID, and here dot set text, or we can just say text each of equals to the data, and similarly we have another button which is of the button network service. Just implement a click listener for this too, dot set on click listener, and where we get the data, and that should be of the main view model dot, we will get the network service. And after we get the network service, I will set that value to a particular level. So over here, just copy this, and over here we are almost done. Text which is of equals to, sorry, which is of equals to the data. So let us run our application now, and let us wait for the application to come up. Okay, and we can see that our application is up, and when we click on this database service, we are getting a database name and the version, and for the network we get the same, the network. So if you go over here, we are returning these two, the local DB and the version 1, and from here we are returning this URL and this API key, and if you check over here, we get the same value. So we have successfully implemented all of this, and if you go to the diagram over here, we have a main activity that is requesting data from the main view model, and main view model is connected, has a dependency for the repository, and this repository has the dependency of the database service and the network service. So all of these dependencies we have created on our project. So if we go over here, we have created all of this. So let's meet up in the next lecture, and on the next lecture I will explain you a bit over here what we did over here, and if you are a bit confused, so let's meet up in the next lecture and I will explain you a bit more about the project that we did over here. So I'll see you in the next video. Till then, have a great day.